It's very important to work hard towards the thing you want. Do not overburden yourself. You will be the happiest person. Hi guys, this is Dikshita and you're listening to Detox. Welcome back to another episode. And in today's episode, I am going to talk about something which I always mention at a lot of places, somewhere in my notebook, somewhere where I journal, even on my Instagram page. And I think it's a quote which I write in a lot of places. And I just wanted to talk about it, share its importance, and basically deep dive into it, what it means, and how its meaning could change for every individual. And we're going to talk about it in a lot more detail today. So, I have mentioned this in my Instagram bio. I am living a life I love. Um, and this is a very, very, I would say, Pinteresty quote, which a lot of people use as a motivational quote, as a caption in their pictures. And it may mean very different to each individual. Like the meaning of life I love is much more different than meaning of life you love. And for me it is living independently, um, taking care of my finances, doing a job which I enjoy. Even though it may get hectic, I still want to balance. I want to create content, I want to be happy, I want to dance, I want to have fun creative activities in the day. And to balance it all is what the meaning of life I love is for me. For someone else it may be to have their own business, to relax a lot, to probably watch a lot of Netflix series, to watch movies, to achieve different goals in their life. And we all have a different vision of what our future looks like. We have a different vision of what we want in the next 5 years, if you think about it. And similar to that, your definition of living a life that you love may be different. For someone, it may not be that currently they're about money, they're about the job, they're about experience, they're about learning something. So, I had a conversation with someone who mentioned that currently I'm not chasing money. I just want to gain as much experience as I can, even though it requires a lot of effort, even though it may not satisfy other people in my life. Saying that you should probably look for something which is more high earning. But what she wants to do is to just focus on herself at the moment, focus on getting as much experience as possible. And once she's at a stage where she has that experience, she's content with what she wanted to gain out of it, then she could go for chasing money, chasing a job which is more high paying, which I respect. I have a different vision, but that is something she wants, and she's happy to do that. She's enjoying gaining experiences. So it is very important to have a different definition of what you are, what you want. A lot of times we watch motivational videos, we watch a lot of podcasts and a lot of content where people tell that this should be the goal, this should be the vision. I definitely disagree with that. um, I would rather say think about what you want yourself to see, what the childhood you wanted to see in you, what you want to, instead of following an Instagram influencer saying that this should be the vision when you are 25. I don't want everyone to just blindly follow that vision even though you don't enjoy it. And at the age of 25 you realize that this is not something I want to do, and then you probably have a crisis. You are worried about what you want to do now. So it's very important to train your mind in advance. I don't know if that makes sense, but basically self realization is very important. um, and by self realization, I mean to know what makes you happy, to know what makes you feel content at the end of the day. Yes, there are days when you won't feel content. Yes, there are days when you'll have a very, very crappy day at work, and that's okay. I have that very often. But in the end, I know that I am enjoying the work I do. I am happy with where I am. And my mom's visiting Bangalore right now, and to take her around, to just give her a tour of the city where I've been for a year, to just talk about the things I am doing. I mean, all of that makes me happy. All of that makes me feel like whole. All of that makes me feel like, okay, I did what I wanted to do. And that is very important. So it could be a very different definition for you. It could be that I want to just focus on content, or probably go for a higher studies, which is something I respect. Like, just knowing what you want to be, what you want to do, having a vision of having a vision, having clarity of, I want to do this and I am doing it, is the definition of a life you love. I hope that makes sense. I hope what I'm saying is making sense. I hope what I'm saying is relatable to other people as well, because I am trying to explain it in the best way possible. For me, like I said, I am happy because I wanted to just do bachelor's and then go for a job, and I'm happy with that. I don't want to go for a master's. I landed in a company which I had dreamt of since my first year of college. I mean, this is a company a lot of people have dreamt of. I am happy doing that job. There are days when it's very hectic, and God knows how frustrated I get. But at the same time, to have a lot of fun activities in office, and in the end, feel like, yes, I had a lot of obstacles. Yes, there were a lot of problems. Yes, there was a lot of frustration. But in the end, I feel like I've accomplished something. I feel happy, and I am someone who thrives in a state of pressure. So I enjoy juggling things, and I can handle pressure. I mean, even though I can rant about it for hours, but I feel happy doing it in the end. So that's the definition of being happy, being living a life that I love. And that is what I wanted to address in the starting of the episode. Now, like I said, uh, to know what you want to be doesn't mean that you're exactly there right now, and that is okay. I mean, there are a couple of things in my head which I want to achieve, which I plan to achieve, which I manifest about, which I want as a vision for my future. I mean, you'd believe, like, after this she'll be happy and content and she'll just be chilling ki theek hai sab chal raha hai. No. I think that for I am someone who keeps thriving, who keeps um putting higher goals as I achieve the lower ones. And I am not someone who would want to stop. So yeah, there are a couple of things which are in my vision. There are a couple of things. There's a clarity of what you want, there's a clarity of what you want to be. Now, how to achieve that is also very important. So one thing is to explore practical strategies, to explore what exactly will make this possible. So let's say I am currently working, but I want to go for higher studies. I'm preparing for an entrance exam, and the practical strategy is to have a schedule set, and to stick by that schedule, and to um, study for the entrance exam, to practice as much as possible, and to just be a lot disciplined there. If I am someone who's aiming for a promotion, um, plan it with your manager. Plan what you want to do, what places you're missing, start working on it, keep pushing it, keep discussing and evaluating, and just work towards it based on what role you are in. Not talking about technical role in specific. In any role, when you're planning for a promotion, there are a couple of things which are expected. There's a different vision with your manager. Discuss with them. Plan the strategy, like, okay, what is exactly needed here to reach at that level, and how can I achieve it. So that's planning the practical strategy. That's exploring which strategy is the best to fast to achieve it as soon as possible. um, and then take actions towards your desired life. So you have a strategy set in place. Now you actually have to act upon it. A lot of times, even मी इन जनरल आई हैव दिस फुल प्लान, ठीक है मैं वीकडेज पे ऑफिस का काम करूँगी, वीकेंड्स पे आई शूट कंटेंट, आई एडिट दिस एट दिस टाइम, आई डू दिस ऐसे, ये मेरा स्केड्यूल है, इस पे स्ट्रिक्ट रहेंगे, आफ्टर 9 o'clock आई वॉन्ट वर्क. I would end up working till 11 p.m. in the night, definitely by 1 sometimes. So I mean, even I do not stick to the schedules in a very disciplined way, but you know that this is something you want to achieve, and you have to bring it in you. If there are days you have to push out a lot, if there are days you have to somehow balance things, you have to somehow say कि ठीक है कोई बात नहीं, मैं थकी हुई हूँ, I'll miss this thing, I'll prioritize this thing. There are days when you may have to sacrifice your sleep a bit, which is fine. But in the end, just stick to that schedule, stick to working towards it. If one day you were not able to do something, next day make up for it. Do not keep that backlog happening um, till the very end and then regretting. Once something is done, let's say something didn't work out, let's say you weren't able to work on your goals for a week or so because of anything, make sure that you cover it instead of dwelling upon it कि ठीक है ये एक हफ्ता हुआ नहीं, इस वजह से सब कुछ डिले हो रहा है, और आई मे नॉट बी एबल टू डू इट, और दिस टाइम इट वोंट हैपन. वो सब dwell करना ही नहीं, अब हो चुका ना वो चीज़. सो जस्ट ट्राई टू मूव ऑन and try to focus on rest of the things and achieve the life, achieve the goals, and move in the direction of the life you desire to have. बहुत ज़्यादा क्लीशे साउंड कर रहा है, बहुत ज़्यादा ज्ञानी एंड मोटिवेशनल साउंड कर रहा है, बट दैट्स समथिंग विच आई हैव पर्सनली डन एंड आई पर्सनली बिलीव इन. Sorry if you see me looking at my phone at times. I've just written some notes to go over, and these are the type of podcasts which I've generally recorded as audio podcasts. So I always have notes by my side जिसके साथ मैं follow करती हूँ, जिससे कि कोई भी point which is very important in my head does not get missed. Basically, it's very important to work hard towards the thing you want. किसी को भी लाइफ इजीली नहीं मिली है, सबने बीच बीच में कुछ एफर्ट डाला है, ठीक है. Some people have more luck than you, but your hard work always pays off. Like a lot of times, I have mentioned this anecdote a lot, and a lot of people might be sick of it. But anytime when you hear about me being from IG radio, if I talk to anyone, they assume directly that because you are in a college where the placements are great, you may not have put in a lot of effort and you're in Google just by luck. No, dude. I've put a lot of effort. I've worked a lot. I have been working my ass off since my first year. I have worked hard to be at this level, and I very well deserve it. So this is very important because specifically for, I mean, I just lost track, but it's very important specifically for women, specifically for someone who's from a college where people think that they might be privileged because the company, like a lot of companies visit that college. It's not, we are not diversity hires. We've put a lot of effort and we deserve that position. That's why we are here. And I wouldn't entertain the thought that someone is speculating about whether I deserve the job or not. I am here in the company and you're not. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of people might get lucky, a lot of people might have more advantage, a lot of people might have more opportunities, but in the end, it's hard work that pays off. In the end, it's your vision, it's your direction. If you want it, you'll get it. I know people who've achieved things off campus and from a college which you couldn't even dream of reaching to a high MNC, and then there are people who are from great colleges not having high placements. Now I always mention this angle because this is something I'm well aware of. It could be related to anything in your life, it could be related to any stream, it could be related to any direction, any career, but I think same things happen everywhere and it's the same formula. Yes, luck matters, a lot of it matters, but a lot of hard work also matters. I mean, you cannot change your luck, but you can put 100% of hard work. So that's what I would recommend. Put 100%, 200%, depending on how much you want it, and you'll get it. You'll get what you deserve. So I talked about what the meaning of living a life you love is. I talked about those practical goals, those strategies that you can build, that you have to achieve. But how do I create a positive mindset? How do I push myself every day? How do I make sure that I do enough? First of all, plan accordingly. Do not put 20 things in your to-do list in a day which you know you'll never be able to achieve, because एक दिन अगर to-do list follow नहीं होती, अगले दिन हम ढीले पड़ जाएंगे. Plan accordingly. You know how much effort you can put. You know your capacity of working. You know your technique. There are a lot of techniques. There's Pomodoro. There's full lists. There's incremental studying. There's finishing one goal first, then starting with the second, then starting with the third. I mean, there are a couple of things. So I'm not going to talk about ki kaun si techniques hoti hain, which you should follow, which you should not follow. You know yourself better. I am someone जो 25 मिनट पढ़ के 5 मिनट का ब्रेक लेना चाहेगी. I am someone जो 25 मिनट काम करके 5 मिनट का ब्रेक लेना चाहेगी. So I'm not just talking about in the terms of studying. I'm not just talking about in the terms of working. It applies to both. It applies to anything else also. um, so I am someone who needs breaks. ठीक है. So I'll put in effort for some time. I might take a break. This is how I'll try to achieve it. You may be someone who cannot multitask. You want to do one thing first, then focus on the second thing. That's fine too. बट हमने एक स्ट्रैटेजी बना ली, हमने एक प्लान बना लिया, हमने एक लिस्ट बना ली. अब आई थिंक बेस्ट वे इज टू हैव अ वेरी हेल्दी रूटीन. I am someone who also performs well when she wakes up on time, when she sleeps on time, but I never do that. I may wake up late during the day, rush to office, like not late during the day, probably just half an hour before my office cab, rush to the cab, and then I'm working till 1 or 2 a.m. in the night, because sometimes I am functioning better at that time. But I feel more healthy and I feel more productive when I wake up early and when I finish on time, which is not something that happens very often. So it's not easy to maintain a routine. It's not easy to have that ideal situation you dream of, but you have to work with what you can manage. So, like I said, I am not able to manage that lifestyle because my work demands waking up till late sometimes, because I have to probably submit certain things which require US approvals, US reviewers, and they are available late at night. So my schedule is something which I wake up around half an hour or an hour before my office cab, go to office, come back, probably take a break for a few hours, work late at night, finish at 1 or 2 a.m., sleep, and then whole thing repeat again, which is not a healthy lifestyle, I would say, but it's a routine which works for me now. So I try to maintain this routine so that my body is used to it, instead of some days waking up early and sleeping on time, and some days doing this, like sleeping late at night and waking up late. That makes you very lethargic. You need to be used to a routine, you need to be used to a lifestyle, and balance everything according to that lifestyle, because it is very important. I mean, we talk about ठीक है गोल्स है, लिस्ट बना ली, ऐसे कर लिया और उसको फॉलो कर लो, बट बहुत बहुत ज़्यादा इम्पॉर्टेंट होता है एक रूटीन में सेट रहना, टू हैव थिंग्स मैनेज्ड वेल. सो करेंटली इफ आई से दैट माई एम इज़ टू परफॉर्म वेल in office, have a creative outflow all the time, and then make sure that I record and post content every weekend and balance it all, and at the same time ensure that I read during the weekend, catch up on other things, and if I want, probably work a bit to catch up before Monday morning blue. So I am able to balance that currently. Sometimes I'm not able to shoot content, sometimes certain other things come up, but I still make sure that I at least try to make up for it and balance it in some way. And I'll tell you how this works. So if I have a routine, I know कि मुझे weekend पे content shoot करना ही है. It's a Sunday night when I'm shooting, but I knew that I had to shoot it on a weekend. So I am shooting the video right now. I had to ask my mother to stay out of the room for some time because she's visiting right now, but I wanted this to be done today. I was in no mood to record. I do not have the energy to, because I was showing her around the city. I was very tired. uh, but if I didn't record it today, it may have been delayed to a certain day during the week, and then I would have given this video late to the editor. The editing would have been late, maybe the posting would have been late, and then I would feel very sad that okay, I messed up. So having a routine, knowing what you have to do on a particular day or a particular week, helps you push yourself, and that's my greatest tip, to manage things, to balance it all. So yeah, this is very important. And one more thing, do not overpressure yourself at any point. I have done that. I've been there. I have suffered through that. I've went through burnouts. I still go through burnouts because I know I'll push myself to a point where I do go through a burnout. But try to not do that. That's one healthy tip which I'll give, because once you hit a burnout, you step back for some time. And currently I'm at a stage where okay, if I go through a burnout, I have the bandwidth to step back. But you may not have that, or you might be at a stage where you shouldn't be having that setback at the moment. You shouldn't have to take a step back for the 2 3 days, because it may be expensive for you. For me, it's fine. I have a burnout. I'll probably sleep the entire weekend and I'll be back on my feet from Monday and I'll catch up on work. I know I can balance that. But someone else may not have that flexibility to go through a burnout. So make sure that you do not put a lot of things in a single day, feel tired, and stop working on it for 2 days. This is something which I would say is important when you're preparing for placements, when you're preparing for an entrance exam, when you're preparing for going into college. I have audience from people who just out of school, who are in their college days, and there are people who are preparing for companies, who are preparing for placements. This is like the main audience which listens to my podcast, and that's why I'm addressing all of these. Um, do not overburden yourself at any point, because the setback from it pushes you back a lot. And it has happened to me during the placement days, and it wasn't fun. I would say it was very very bad, because you feel very underconfident. You do not feel well. And then there's placement in this. There's a lot of pressure going on, and I wouldn't recommend pushing yourself to a stage where you feel that you want to take a break, right? Once you have that goal in your hand, take as much break as you want. So make sure that you have breaks in your schedule already, कि तुम्हें एक दिन ऐसा ना लगे कि तुम्हें 2 3 दिन कुछ नहीं करना है. I hope that makes sense. So that's my gyan around how to achieve these things, how to live a life you love. And it's very, very important to prioritize taking care of yourself. Like I said, burnout मत होने देना, बीच बीच में खुद को break देना. Try to pamper yourself with things you like. Try to, like, I always have fun having a creative outlet. So even though I have days where my office is really hectic, I would never miss dance workshops. I would never miss dance practice. I would never miss a performance in office. And prioritize activities which bring joy to you, which make you feel happy, which make you feel fulfilled. Because in the end, all work and no play is also not good, and all play and no work is also not good. You need to have a balance. Have work, have enough amount of play, right? And you will be the happiest person alive. I mean, I feel the happiest person alive some days. So, yeah, that's the end goal. That's what you want to feel. So, I hope this makes sense. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I am sorry for any traffic or metro noises which are coming from the background. I have heard a lot of them while recording, which is not generally the case at 10:30 in the night. But yeah, thank you so much for listening to this episode. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you in my next vlog or podcast. Till then, goodbye.